Absolutely destroyed by the job market right now. Most recently, I worked a 1 year contract. I work in social media, and so I kind of bounce around short-term contract to short-term contract. This most recent one was a 1 year contract, which was great. But when that contract ended, I knew I was going to have to look for new opportunities. So before the contract ended, I started a job search looking for full-time opportunities, part-time contract, anything under the sun. Since the contract ended in October, I have put out 700 plus applications. And out of all those 700 plus applications, I've only gotten a handful of interviews. And one of those interview processes went all the way to the final round. And then, I was told by the recruiter that they were actually no longer pursuing anyone for that role. They were just going to cancel that role and kind of absorb the work themselves. And then 3 days after they told me that, they reposted the listing. So I would have rather just heard, hey, you're not the right fit. But am I the only one that can't get any job? I've even applied to stock shelves at Costco to no response. Like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I've got a good resume. I've got a ton of experience. I don't know what to do. My full-time job right now is literally just applying to jobs. That's what I do day in and day out for the majority of the day. So if there's any recruiters out there who have advice or any companies hiring anything, my experience is in social media, as you can tell from my social media channels. But at this point, I will literally do anything to have some sort of income. But this job market right now is insane. And I feel like I'm the only one. So if someone else is out there, please let me know because I'm losing my mind. Is that
You're not the only one, young man. It's America. You guys just wasn't ready for the downturn, the new administration, the downturn, the process, tech being down a little bit, and a lot of the tech companies are focused on AI coming in. You heard AI, but you didn't know how serious it was going to be till now. Now you're in the thick of it, and if you're not prepared for it, I'm sorry, young American man. God bless you. I want you to find the best, but you can't be looking at the high altitude. You have a lot of knowledge in social media. Start your social media channel like I'm doing in my 50s. Start, put all the energy in social media. Build your platform. Then pursue a job with some elevated experience. Because most companies, they're not hiring at the level of what you want to get paid at. They don't have to no more. They got AI. All the little jobs that you have for like 50, $60,000, they don't need them no more. They cut them out. So the 80, $100,000 jobs that you guys are looking at, you got to have networked in, tons of experience. It's not always what you know, it's who you know. All the education is wonderful, but that helps to a certain extent. That gets you to the interview. As a lot of people told you over the years in college, I have degrees. That gets you an interview. You get to the interview. You have achieved to get to the interview. You have learned the basic skills and time management, critical thinking, uh, uh, all the necessities they need. Management. You have leveraged yourself up to at least assistant manager position of a corporation. Now you get to interview for that position instead of working at a company for 5, 10 years and then applying for the position on your merit. You went to academia and got it. Now in this with a downturning society and a different administration that are looking at more, as he said, coming in for the American people, the work Costco's, as you were saying, manufacturing. You said you social media, so the job market that you're looking for is not in the demand, and with technology advancing and corporations are using AI more principled, the jobs that you're skilled at your level is being fulfilled already through AI and the people that's already in the space that they did not fire. So there's less positions and more opportunities for upper management level where you have to have a major degree and with experience in that focus area. See, having a degree is good, but what is your concentration? What is the area of that degree? That's what a lot of young Americans don't look at, and that's I'm sad. So you got to figure out this new learning curve, as you would say, for yourself, and this on an individual, and that's what most Americans have figured out. It seems like just 5 years ago everything was being handed to you. Now it's not that way. I'm in the same situation. I just get contracts for a year. The, the system has changed, and they got time limitations, and you aging out. They probably want somebody in college to do that. There's a system. There's a college system that is saying what I've learned. They're saying things without saying it. Okay, you're out of the college. You got your training. Now leverage that up to something else. Well, I want to do another. I like this. I like this experience. I like. No, that's what you liked, but that was a part of the college system. Now that you're out, you can't keep doing these 1 and 2 year contracts because that's what you got. You became a contract worker, and you like that. But now you got loose skills. I'm gonna tell you that when people hear people say contract work, you got some training in certain areas and different areas of field. That's it. You're not a specialist in one particular area. You're a specialist in a cumulative particular areas in field of social media. So now you got to pitch that to somebody else. And now it also looks as a negative when they're looking at certain things. You jump all over the place. You stay at a place 1 year. It'll look like your stability is not there. That's another thing that you don't look at. Especially when you're trying to do upper management, they want somebody going to be there for years. If they're going to pay you a $250,000 or 100,000 and above, six figures, they're going to want somebody that's going to be there. This other stuff you're doing is not going to work. I'm sorry, young man. It's not going to work. And you don't have the employment experience of consistency out of your own mouth. You say you do a contract, a year there, you're here, and that's what you like. The system has changed. So I hope I'm saying this to somebody. If you leave a comment down below, let me know what you think about it. But that's my experience, and that's what I can see on forecast out there in the next 5 to 10 years. Even after this administration over, this it has been changed. It's not just this administration. It's people talking about it's the Trump administration. It's not the Trump administration. This is going to happen with or without Trump. Let's continue going on. This one here, I like what she said.
No one can find work, and I just paid $6.29 a gallon for gas, but I have a $7 matcha that's going to make it all better. Let's talk about it. I have had 6 interviews in the past month. I have had 7 interviews in the past month and a half. Excuse me, I got invited to do a second interview by 3 agencies. They have all 3 rejected me. I'm about to graduate with my master's in HR management and employment law in May, and I have no job prospects. I have been putting out my application like crazy, and honestly, this job market has been so tough for the past 2 years because I honestly believe that companies and agencies have been preparing since 2024 for this presidency. I do not think that I can continue to make it in Los Angeles as much as I have tried. I'm from the Valley. I can't continue to live in the Valley. It is ridiculously expensive, and I'm gonna have to make a really hard decision in the next few weeks of what I'm gonna do with my life. But when people talk about how bad the job market is, it's terrible. For one of the jobs, I even had to do a project, and the hourly rate was $28. And I asked them for more because I can't live off of $28 if I'm going to be commuting and moving my car, like using my car and all those things. Like, that is not a living wage in the state of California. So no one wants to pay, and it's not that people don't want to work, it's just we want to work for a living wage. But this economy is...
Yep, I totally agree with the economy language. But it's not just that. It's just she had a little more sense than the other guy. She had. She said she forecast. She's seen something happen in 2024 that the companies are saying today. And think about what she got. Did she give you a little more like what I was talking about earlier about the degrees? She gave you a little more context on the degrees. She said she getting a master's in HR and employment law. Good information, but how it conceptualized in a company hiring you with no experience. She's young. You can tell she's young. She's been in school 4 years for undergraduate, and she's just doing law school. Masters. So that's another 2 more years minimum. So she got 6 years in college. Put 6 years on there. She's probably 18, straight out of high school. So she has no really major work experience. So this is the problem that's coming out here. If you have no experience, no background, uh, and you got these lofty degrees that are really supposed to come with experience, especially in HR. How long have you worked in HR, human resources? How do you know that you got a lot of the information, but have you applied the information? Or on simulators? No, no, no. You want to come into this job and get a high salary. Remember, she just complained about $28 an hour. Let's show you the thinking. She paid $6 something for gas, and she got a $7 drink, macchiato, whatever you call it, drink, that she could have found in the store and made a bunch of that and put in her refrigerator, had it for a week for $7, or probably 10, and could have said $7 a day, which is 7 days, 7 times 7. I believe that's 49. I think, I think it's about 40, about 49, 7, what, 14, 14, 28. Yep. No, it's not 28. Yeah. Do the math. I'm not a mathematician. That's 7 days a week. 5 times 7 is 35, I believe. Then another 14. Yep, 49. Why would you spend all that money in a week and you don't have a job? That's my whole, just breaking it up. Doesn't make sense. This is a West Coast thinking. This is a California thinking. You can't afford this, and she don't have a lot of experience, so she got to go find somewhere at a small company. I'm gonna give you insight. Find a small HR company somewhere in the United States. Get out of the ideal of you got to stay in the sunny California. You can't afford sunny California. No one's gonna hire you at the rate that you want in that environment. It doesn't work, and we could tell the lifestyle you're used to living because you've been in college most of the time. So I know you got some debt. So now you are outside of that fantasy bubble of academia, and now reality hitting in. This is what you got to do. I would tell a person like this: go find a small corporation, a trailer truck company, a paint company that needs somebody to do their HR. Build that up. Get on with that HR. Find some conferences. Save some money to go to some HR conferences. Make you some business card. Network with people in HR in that space. Oh, girl, I'm about to leave Atlanta and going over to California now. I've been doing HR for 10 years. I see that you're very highly intelligent, and they need somebody with your spunk, your youth, your pizzazz. And I put a good word in you. Go down there, and they're not going to pay you. But then guess what? The cost of living in Atlanta is different, way different from LA. So now you can afford that environment. So $28 in LA, Atlanta, is reasonable, relatively. $28 in California is like $8. Like $12. $28 in Atlanta is like $21 for the cost of living. So it's viable there. And now you could build your experience up with your degree, and now you become a worthy a contemporary amongst the people that got more experience, more knowledge, more 666 lean, all these other training that you probably haven't got yet. Or if you got, you don't remember everything because it was so much information coming to you. There's a lot of things you got to focus on, and young people got to take time to grow. So this is what I hope she learned from this. I hope you guys leave me a comment, tell me what you think about what I said about this. The job market is nuts. The job market is what it is, and you got to figure it out. It's like a matrix, like a Rubik's cube. You got to figure it out. What's your opinion? Leave a comment down below. I'd like to hear from you.